So question 14, we've got what I called region inequalities. So before you worry about inequalities, just think of these as lines, as in they're all straight lines, but write them as equal instead of an inequality. Normally, there's going to be one that's a bit easier, either y equals or x equals and just a number. That's the first one. Y equals to 1 is just a straight horizontal line where y is 1, so across there. Because none of these inequalities have an equals to symbol, it's just less than or greater than, I'm going to use a dashed line there. Now I'm going to skip the next one just for now, that one's a little bit harder. The last one, y equals 2x. Because it's got x and y, it's going to be a diagonal line. So the way that we would plot this is by picking two coordinates, subbing them in, and then just joining up the 2 points. Because straight lines are in the format usually y equals mx plus c, plus c is the y-intercept, which is effectively a set of coordinates. I tend to plot that. In this case, it's technically plus 0, isn't it? So I know that it crosses through the y-axis at 0. That's one of my coordinates. Then I'm just going to choose another x value on my grid. Let's say x is 2, y would be 2 times 2, which is obviously then 4. So I plot my coordinates at 2, 4. Now that I've got 2 points, I can just use my ruler to join them up. Obviously extend it through the whole of the grid though. And now the last one, we don't currently have in the format of y as the subject. So what I'm going to do is just rearrange this to get y on its own. Now I need 2 coordinates again. Obviously the plus c would be 5 in this case. And then again, I can choose another coordinate. In this case, I might choose x is 4. So y would have to be 1. Now I can join up those 2 coordinates. When I label this one, I'm going to keep y as my subject and just put back the same exact inequality symbol that I had before. This, as you can see, is 3 marks. Drawing 3 lines will give you 2 marks out of 3. And that's without even worrying about anything to do with inequalities. Now, the last thing is obviously for the final mark to identify which region we are referring to. Start with the easiest one, which is y is greater than 1. Y is a vertical measurement, isn't it? A vertical axis. So when we say it's greater than 1, we are referring to the part that is above. So I've already narrowed down that my region will be one of these 4 parts here. It won't be down below. Then y is greater than 2x. Now this one's harder. When you've got x and y, it's a bit harder. So the way that I imagine it is, think of it as y and then the other side, don't worry if it's 2x or if it's minus x plus 5, doesn't matter. Just think of it as the line. So again, we're talking vertically. Is y greater than or less than the line? Well, in this case, it's greater than again. So I'm also looking at the region above this line, which would be this kind of left-hand side here, wouldn't it? And then finally, we're looking at my third line. In this case, y is less than the line, isn't it? So it's below this line here. And now we've found our region. So here is my region. It's above the 1 line, above the 2x line, and below the minus x plus 5 line. If you found this helpful, make sure to check out the GCSE Maths Pro YouTube channel where you can find full videos going through everything that we've just seen.